Can we talk personal accountability for once? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York City Mayor Eric Adams blaming quote-unquote drill rap music for a lot of the violence and the shootings and killings and whatnot in New York City. Now, this is pretty ridiculous for a few reasons. Now, I know I may get some kickback, but I promise, once you hear the reason why I'm saying this dumb and ridiculous, you're going to agree. I guarantee. Okay, and if you don't agree, then you're not telling the truth. You're not being honest. But before I get into my breakdown and my reaction, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you're going to see New York City Mayor Eric Adams address the issue with drill rap music and his plans to try and fight against it. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what he said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son, and he sent me some videos, and it is alarming. And we are going to pull together the social media companies and sit down with them and state that you have a civic and corporate responsibility. You know, I mean, we pulled Trump off Twitter because of what he was spewing. Yet we are allowing music, displaying of guns, violence. We're allowing it to stay on these sites because look at the victims. We're bringing them in. We're going to show exactly what is being displayed, and we are alarmed by it. We are alarmed by the use of social media to really over-proliferate this violence in our community.
All right, you saw that, you heard that. Now, there's a lot to say here, and I know this may be a little controversial, but I don't think it is. I think most of you are going to agree, even if you don't agree right now. Let's talk about first things first. Drill rap, what is that? Now, pardon me, I'm a little bit old. I'll be 40 pretty soon here, so if I'm wrong about this, youngins out there, y'all please let me know in the comments. But basically, there is gangster rap music, party rap music, stuff like that. But we know that there is violence in rap. Not all rap, but there is violence in rap. That's the whole big thing, right? Drill rap music is violent rap, but more personal, meaning they'll talk about specific people that are dead, that have been killed by name. They won't just say, yo, I'll come to the block, I'll shoot up the spot. They won't just say that. They say, I'll come to East 16th Street and I'll shoot Jaquan Williams and he's dead. And so is his brother, Anthony. They're all dead. That's the kind of thing they do in drill rap. So that creates real beef on the street and guys die behind that. Plenty of guys have died behind that. They got this kind of rap in Chicago. That's where it probably was born, in Chicago. They got it in Jacksonville, Florida. That's another big spot for it. New York City. It's all over the place. So because there is violence as a result of this kind of rap, people like Eric Adams want to ban it. But here's a problem. First of all, you have First Amendment rights. Now, is it illegal for me to say something negative about somebody that's dead? Is that illegal? I mean, what law am I breaking if I say something negative about somebody that died? I'm not really sure. Like, if I was to say the guy with the funny mustache in World War II Germany was the worst thing on the planet Earth, and I'm glad he's dead, would I get put in the penitentiary for that? Would anybody even say anything? Would anybody even question me on that and try to debate me on it? Not really, not in public. I don't think anybody would try to say, hey, man, well, actually, I don't think anybody will actually me on that one. So I'm not sure what you're going to do to get big tech or anybody else to move on banning some of these songs. Now, what I will say is that some of these songs have been banned from New York City radio. And I think the reason is they don't want to, they feel like they're contributing to gang violence when they allow these things to be on the radio in New York City. And the radio, that's a whole different ball of wax because you can't play everything on the radio. So you're going to be selective with what you play. because you got a certain amount of time. If you got one radio station, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many spots in the day. So you're going to be selective. You're not going to play every song in the world on the radio. But the internet, however, every song in the world, if it is, or if it's electronic, if it's been sent to the internet some kind of way, Spotify, YouTube, whatever it is, it's on the internet. So you can access it all. So how are you going to get these songs banned essentially from the internet? You want to talk about big tech and social media, things of that nature, I guess trying to blame them for the rise of drill rap. Meanwhile, the rap came from the city, from the environment, from the people, from the gangs, whatever, shooting each other already. Okay? The drill rap probably couldn't exist if there were not gangs already out there committing violence. So I'm not sure what he's going to actually accomplish by banning the drill rap. Okay, so I guess the thought process is if the songs aren't on the internet, if they're not on the radio, then nobody's going to hear it, and it's going to cut down on violence. Well, newsflash, gang violence existed long before anything called drill rap. Long before rap, there was violence. And even if you're successful at banning so-called drill rap, what impact will that really have on the violence? There's been an uptick in violence over the past year or two, but is it because of drill rap? Is it because of some random 18-year-old in Brooklyn talking about the dead, quote-unquote, ops, the opposition, the enemy, the bad guy? Is it because of that, or is it because of something else? We've seen the whole defund the police movement. We've seen the whole zero cash bail, get out on your own recognizance. You could be an attempt murder suspect and get out with no bail, and then saying that you killed somebody else because you probably high on drugs, you're a maniac, you're completely crazy. We've seen that happen in places like New York City. You got the brand new DA, Alvin Bragg, who's all in favor of that. All in favor of, hey, man, if you got a pistol and you rob somebody, maybe it's a felony, maybe it's not a felony. I'm not really sure. It's kind of, felony fluid. I'm not sure if it's going to be a felony, if you're going to go to the penitentiary, if it's going to be a slap on the wrist, if it's going to be a fine. I'm not sure what it's going to be, okay? Because maybe your gun wasn't loaded. Maybe you didn't really mean anything by the armed robbery with a gun. Maybe you were just trying to get some bread. So you took your gun out, put it in some old lady's head and said, give me all your money. You were just trying to get some bread to eat that night, right? Oh, okay, cool, great. And you did it a few times, a few hundred times over the course of 10 years, but you're not a career criminal, so we're going to go easy on you, slap on the wrist. That is the kind of stuff that's happening right now in places like New York City and Los Angeles and where else? Philadelphia, everywhere. Okay. And if you're talking about the increase in violent crime, like I said, it's about defund the police, things of that nature. Atlanta, Georgia, another place, you're talking about 50% increase, 100% increase. Now, in some of these cities, you do have rap music, and there could be some drill music. I'm not sure what Atlanta drill is like. I've not heard that, hey, shawty snapping drill music in Atlanta, but different story. Portland, Oregon had an 800% increase in homicide at one point, like last year, 800%. Now, can anybody tell me what the Portland, Oregon drill rap scene is like? I'll wait. I'll wait. I don't think there is a drill rap scene in Portland, Oregon. I think what you have is very soft judges, prosecutors. It's basically pretty much you can do whatever you want. You could be out there shooting drugs, smoking drugs, robbing and killing and shooting and whatever in Portland if you want to. In Portland, Oregon, you can do that. Free out of Washington, all on the left coast, where there is no drill rap. In California, the majority population is Hispanic. Where is the Hispanic drill rap scene at? Okay, there are many more important things to focus on, Mr. Eric Adams, rather than rap music. You're going back to the whole C. Dolores Tucker model in the early 90s, trying to wage a war on gangster rap. The rap ain't the problem. And I'm going to say this. Most rap is consumed by non-blacks, by, I would say, young suburban non-black kids or young suburban kids, period, whether it be black, white, or whatever. These kids are not going to be the ones out there committing the crime and the violence because of the rap music. They're not going to be doing that. Why? Because they have parents. They have better role models. Okay, if you got a mom and a dad and you eating Pop-Tarts on Saturday morning, why are you going to go out to some bad neighborhood and sell drugs and get into shootouts and gang warfare? You're not going to do that. There's no reason to. But if you are in that kind of environment, the rap music doesn't help. It doesn't help because it's like a soundtrack to the violence, right? but you're already in a violent place already. You're in the violence already. Like, banning the rap music is not going to change the violent, drug-infested, poverty-infested, crime-infested environment. It's not going to change that. So rather than trying to attack the results of a bad area, of a bad situation, how about you get down to the root? You don't want to get down to the root. You don't want to address things like the welfare state and incentivize single parent households and, enabling this kind of stuff to go on. You don't want to get into that. You don't want to get into your soft on crime policies that allow these criminals to come out here all the time and shoot and kill and thug and drug in these areas, terrorizing these areas, therefore creating an environment where drill rap is born. You don't want to talk about that. You just want to ban the music because your son came to you and said something. So now you got a harebrained idea. Hey, let's ban rap. That'll work. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Eric Adams' proposal to try and get Big Tech on board with banning quote unquote drill rap music? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think this is a ridiculous harebrained idea. It's not going to work. Okay. Maybe he had a noble thought in his head. It's like, you know what? I want to make sure that we're safe and all this and that. It's noble in his mind, but in reality, it will not work. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.